I was a customer. I got religion really on the topic of ERP cybersecurity a few years ago. And I've had a good success making the case on why it's important to different organizations. I think it's such an important topic, I decided I wanted to be a full-time evangelist and help other CISOs make the same case in their company to do what I did. Some of the things that I saw in my own organization was, well, I'll take a step back. Philosophically, I said as a CISO, I want to make sure that I'm spending the most resources where they matter the most and not taking a peanut butter approach and securing everything the same way. So I needed to understand what were my most important applications and so on. SAP came top of the list, the most important thing in my company. I realized one day I had spent more money securing my printer than I was spending on SAP, and I realized I was missing the mark. So I brought someone in to do a penetration test on my SAP environment. Literally less than a minute, they had rooted the system. It was embarrassing. And I thought, none of my security logs found it, none of my SOC didn't see it, there was literally nothing. And the things that person could have done were catastrophic to the organization. Since I've been at Onapsis, we see all kinds of things like that every day. I can give you a great example. We do code analytics. We were working with a customer recently, it's publicly held. As we were doing their initial assessment, and this was just looking at a small piece of their code just to give them a sample of what we could see, we found a data exfiltration script. Some developer there at the company had written a script. It's a publicly held firm. At the end of every quarter, it would summarize the financial data and send it to their Gmail address. They stopped the conversation right there, and they went to look for that person. Turns out that person had left the company 6 years prior. So this had been going on for this publicly company for several years before we found it. It was only with a tool like ours I can come in and review that SAP-specific code that we were able to uncover that issue. We see examples like that all the time. It's very exciting, actually, to be able to fix these problems that people otherwise would not be able to find. When you show someone a serious issue like that, they can't unsee what they saw, and they really have to react to it. It's very rare that you see someone that is just so fatigued that they would look at that problem and say, I just can't take that on right now. They really do have to react. It's an important issue. When we uncover that first sort of issue, it's usually a black box type of the scan where we're not authenticated, we're not even on the keyboard, we're letting them do the typing, we're just telling them what to do. But once we want to help them uncover the full gamut of issues, we're going to implement technologies that allow them to perform system assessments that look at not just their application, but configuration and missing patches. Will allow them to apply certain types of metadata to those assets. So within your SAP infrastructure, you might have some systems with confidential data, some PII, some regulated, some et cetera, right? So they can prioritize the importance of those assets. Then we'll look at the code that goes into that system, the custom code. And remember, most customers that we find have several million lines of custom code. So it's a lot of code, and it's never been looked at because it's proprietary. So none of the code analytics tools out there besides ours usually can evaluate it. So we do that analysis as well, and that paints a very big picture of problems to solve. And it's important to help people understand too that we are on the cusp of recognizing that there's something new happening in the industry. So hackers are beginning to focus on SAP, and SAP systems are beginning to be placed on the internet. So the threat landscape is increasing, but it's not epidemic. We can begin a journey today and looking at all those problems, a journey to solving it, a journey to securing it, without lighting a fire and doing something that disrupts the business because we want to implement SAP security in 6 months. This can be a multi-year journey and a thoughtful journey if you begin now. So we help them uncover all of those different issues and all those different aspects, and then hopefully begin a thoughtful journey to get them to where they need to be before this is a bigger problem.